The Lifestyle Show, presented by Selina Mackenzie.
Now you might recognise the name of our final guest today from Channel 4's makeover show 10 Years Younger. I'm delighted to welcome presenter Nicky Hambleton-Jones.
Hi, Selina.
Hi, thank you for joining us, Nicky. Now,
excited to be here.
You've got a new book out called Bolder, Not Older, and it is true, isn't it? We get past a certain age, particularly as women, and we sort of feel invisible.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because women, or my clients and friends and women complain to me that society makes older women feel invisible, but actually I believe it's not society, it's ourselves. We naturally just stop up-leveling our style. We just kind of anything goes, throw anything on, and slowly but surely wear colours that are a little bit more dull, more neutral, and just stop making that effort. And that's what ultimately makes you seem invisible, because you're just not interesting to look at anymore.
I went through a phase a few years ago where I was always wearing black or really dark colours, but it wasn't because necessarily I was getting older. It was more because I was a bit larger then. And I always think black does make you look a bit slimmer. Is that correct?
I don't buy into that. I think actually if you want to look slimmer, print is the master of disguise. I think black absorbs light as a colour, and it can actually make you appear larger rather than slimmer. And actually, when you are on a weight loss journey and you're not happy with your body shape, actually wearing black can just make you feel depressed. It doesn't boost your spirits. And I actually think going for a bit of print and a bit of color can make you look fabulous and feel good while you're going through that weight loss journey.
You look very sparkly today, very Christmassy.
Well, I just thought, it's freezing cold outside. Let's bring the sparkles on earlier.
Absolutely. And there's some beautiful pastel colour clothes behind you as well. So it says it's a 12-week journey to transform yourself. Why does it take that long? Why can't you just say to us, right, go and put some nice bright clothes on?
Well, of course you can. But you know what? A lot of women are stuck in a mindset about what they can and can't do. And if I say, just go and put on some color, it's just not enough. They're not going to do it. They might do it once, but they're not going to completely change their lifestyle, right? And I think that if you go through a process and it's not a quick fix. I think the problem with the social media generation is that people watch things on social media and they go, I like that. And they just buy it. And then it just lands up in their cupboard and there's no real thought as to the outfit you're going to create with it. And we end up with a load of items rather than outfits. So this is a process to help you completely reframe what your style, how you'd like to look. Let's just go back to the drawing board. Let's go back to what kind of style you'd like to emulate, to create for yourself. And then we address things like mindset. What are those negative thoughts running through your head that are stopping you from making these changes? And then it's a process of, let's get into your wardrobe. Let's discover what's there. Let's create new outfits out of what you've already got. What flatters your shape? What underwear have you got at your disposal to sort of suck in all those bits that you're not so proud of? And then it's the color journey. Not everyone is confident with wearing color. And it's very hands-on, the book. It's very task-orientated with a lot of focus on, try this. Let's start slowly. Just try a bright color with a pair of jeans. And then I slowly up-level that into more of a tonal color outfit, then to a color block, then to head to toe. And all of that slowly but surely builds up your confidence in a very curated way. Now, you absolutely could pick up the book, spin to one chapter and just go for it. Of course you can. But to really change your style, it's like losing weight. To really lose weight and keep it off, you have to change your lifestyle. It's not just about starving yourself for a few days or taking some diet pills. You have to make those fundamental changes. And it takes, they say 3 months to completely reprogram your brain to make real changes, that's why I wrote it as a 12-week process so that you can enjoy each stage of your style evolution rather than just going and buying a brightly colored blazer.
I think that's a great idea because it is about building your confidence, and it seems like baby steps. Don't just go out there and say, right, I'm going to wear pink all over, because you're not going to feel comfortable, but do it bit by bit. So I think that's a great idea. And it is about confidence, isn't it? It's about how you feel. I don't even think women necessarily dress for other people. They dress for how they feel themselves.
They do. They do dress for how they feel themselves, but they also are impacted by what they feel other people will think. So, there's always that sense, particularly I find midlife women of, oh, well, what will everyone think if I wear head to toe pink? Everyone will laugh at me. They'll think I'm too old, or I'm too fat, or I'm too this or that. So I think that those thoughts do cloud our choices in terms of what we wear. But ultimately, yes, you wear for how you feel. And looking around at most of the high street, most of the time, I would say most people aren't feeling great based on what they'd wear, right? Yeah. It's just, there's not that joy. I really want this book to spark joy in people's lives in terms of what they wear. Clothes are such a powerful tool to uplift one's spirit and one's confidence, irrespective of everything else that's going on in your life. And when you start choosing pieces that give you joy and you have that confidence to experiment with how you style something and putting a whole outfit together, not just throwing on a top and a bottom, thinking about those accessories or getting out of your trainers that you wear every day and putting on a heel, maybe a little block heel, something that's just a little bit more special, just makes you feel more special, more confident. I had a lady the other day, I did a podcast, and she listened to it and she said she went straight to a cupboard, put on a really nice outfit, went to Tesco's, do some supermarket shopping, and she said, I just felt amazing. And I was just doing the supermarket shop. Exactly. Just because she put that extra bit of effort into her outfit rather than just putting on the usual jumper and jeans or whatever she normally wears. So, it's such a simple thing. And I think there's so much going on in the world that is really negative. We're all really stressed and worried about so many things. And actually your wardrobe should be that safe, fun space that makes you feel happy, so that no matter what else is happening in your life, you project happiness and confidence and, just not giving up on yourself. Yeah,
quite right. Are there any no's, Nicky, with age, for example, short skirts, if you're of a certain age, or would you say no, if you've got the body, then go for it?
Absolutely. It's really not about your age. It's about your body and about what makes you feel confident. I know so many women who have the most phenomenal legs, and it would be criminal to hide them away just because they're over 50. And that pretty much goes for anything. If you've got a great figure or you feel confident in your body as it is, you should wear a bikini. You could
not to Tesco's.
Maybe not to Tesco today because it's freezing cold. But the point is, actually, I wish more people would take more risks and just stuff it. Age is a number. It's irrelevant. It's how you feel. It's what makes you feel good and what brings you joy. That should be the only defining factor in choosing what you wear. And actually, I'd even say your body shape is a consideration, but don't let that suffocate your choices because you're so worried about getting it wrong. If you feel good in something, own it, embrace it, wear it.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, because with age often comes a bit of a belly for some of us women. Could you give any advice as to what can make that look better, like ruched clothing, or should we wear baggy clothing on over our bellies? What would be your tip?
Well, I would definitely say stay away from the baggy clothing, because all that does is just make your whole body shape look square and larger than life. Defining a waist is so important. And often, that balances proportions. It creates that ultimate hourglass shape. But that's when people are conscious of their tummy. That's the one thing that they always recoil when I say we need to define your waist. They're like, oh my God, I don't want to draw attention to it. But actually, it's all about the outfit. If you've got an outfit that is well fitted, that is flattering. So how do we flatter a tummy? Well, number one, all over print is the master of disguise. So really hit that leopard print or animal print, hit the floral prints, hit the geometric prints. That's just going to completely conceal anything because all you're looking at is the print. Even like the sequin, if this was a sequin dress I was wearing, you wouldn't see my tummy because you're just so distracted by the sparkles, right? So, think about distraction. I also say to people that when it comes to trousers, high-waisted is key. So, the trouser must sit in the smallest part of your tummy, which is your waist. And by doing that, it draws the eye to that midpoint, that narrowness, rather than cutting in the middle of the belly, which is often your widest point. And then you can often get a roll top and bottom. So high-waisted skirts, trousers, so important when wearing separates. Things like ruching across the tummy, absolutely, wrap style tops, all of those things, anything that, just draws the eye away from the center point, I think is really important. So even going back to trousers and skirts, things with a back zip or a side zip, take away that bulk from the front, the midpoint of the tummy. So you've got normal jeans with a big, a button and a zip. It just adds bulk to your widest point, doesn't it? Whereas if you can go for something with a side zip, it gives you a much more flatter structure. And the other thing is belts. And again, people go, what? I can't wear a belt. Look at my tummy. And actually what a belt does, if you've got, say, a high-waisted skirt or pair of trousers on, and you add a belt at the waistline, it just focuses the eye at the belt, which is at your slimmest point. And we don't see anything down below. You just see balance, you see proportion, and you see the focal point on the smallest part of the waist. So, there's so much you can do to disguise that tummy, layering over a blazer, a tailored blazer on top of trousers or a skirt. Again, that's going to help create that shape in the waistline. And, conceal anything that's going on beneath. So there really is no need to be held back by a tummy. We all get them when we get to the midlife. And actually, clothes are your power to hide everything. So use them, use the print, use the accessories, use the ruching and the tailoring to create that, to cover it up. But what you mustn't do is just resort to dark, black, baggy sacks of clothing. Anything just loose and shapeless. Trust me when I say it's not disguising anything. It's not doing any favors for you. Yes, it's coverage, but that's it. And it would just make you look older and make you feel more frumpy.
Yeah, I guess the first time will be scary for somebody who's been used to wearing baggy clothes, and all of a sudden, they're wearing something tight, and your own eyes are drawn to your stomach in the mirror, but maybe everybody else isn't taking any notice of it.
I think that's the bottom line. Nobody cares. Everyone is so worried about themselves. They're not looking at your tummy. Trust me, I'm not analyzing anyone else's body, right? I'm just staying in my own lane, worrying about myself. Is this the right outfit? Do I look good in what I'm wearing? And you obsess at your stomach because that's the thing that might bother you as an individual. But everyone else is just worrying about their own stuff that they've got going on. So actually, you always look smaller and slimmer when you have shape in your outfit. Always. If you want to lose weight instantly, let me put you in a great outfit and you will drop a stone like that.
Wow.
Without actually losing any weight, because it is just perception, getting rid of the volume or well-structured placed volume. So, really, really important to look at the outfit, not focus on a body area. And I think if you've got a great outfit on, so everything's working together holistically, a great pair of trousers with a nice blouse and a blazer, for instance, and you've got some nice accessories on, a great pair of shoes, it's the outfit. People are focusing on the whole picture, the whole package. They're not zoning in on, is that a tummy I can see under there?
That's great advice. And apart from belts, do accessories make a difference? Would you say big, bold accessories?
Accessories definitely make a difference. I think I love a statement accessory. It's not for everyone. But I think also you can be clever with your accessories. If you don't have to wear a big, bold statement necklace or big, chunky earrings. You could have a statement ring. You could have, make your handbags your statement, or have always a bold shoe on or something like that. But I think all those little details really enhance an outfit, particularly if you're someone who prefers neutrals and is a bit color shy. Put the pops of color in your accessories just to bring that outfit to life and create your own style signature. Stand out from the masses a bit. Let's stop following the crowd and just be more individualistic and add more flair to how we dress.
Yeah. I always think the 50s had a great style, and I know you can still buy lots of 50s clothes. And I think if someone was to say, right, that's going to be my style from now on, they're great fits. They're very shapely.
Absolutely. Nipped in at the waist and lots of volume to cover tummies and hips and bums and all sorts, and super sexy and feminine. And if that's your thing, just roll with it and just be consistent with it and enjoy it. The most important thing is to love what you are wearing and feel good in it.
Yeah. Well, as well as the book, Nicky, you are running 10 Years Younger retreats in Portugal, I believe.
Yes, I do. So that's fantastic. And that's an opportunity to just get, with a like-minded group of women to relax and reconnect, take time out for yourself, but also get top tips on how you can dress better, feel better, exercise better, and, makeup and hair tips as well, depending on the retreats. It's lots of fun.
Yeah, sounds like great advice there. Well, this book is called Bolder Not Older, Dull to Dazzling in 12 Weeks, and it's by, yes, I can see, it's a shame it's not television. I can see the book, it looks fab. It's by Nicky Hambleton Jones, who we're chatting to now. If people want to find out more about you, I assume you're on Instagram, on social media?
Absolutely. Follow me on Instagram at Nicky Hambleton Jones. I know I've got a very long name, but hopefully HAMBLETON Jones, and you'll find me. Otherwise, my website's same, nickyhambletonjones.com. And yeah, follow me, drop me a DM. I'd love to connect.
Great to chat to you. I think this will be a great Christmas present, because as soon as Christmas is over, this is the sort of thing people want. So go out and buy it as a gift. Thank you for your time, Nicky.
Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye.